Hey everybody, this is S. Anthony Thomas. This is the S. Anthony Thomas Show. I want to talk to you in this episode about something that happened to me very, very recently. I was driving someplace to get a sandwich from my sandwich shop, and I go back and the place is shut down by the health department, and I had eaten there very recently. Has this happened to any of you? Ooh. Take a listen to this episode. I'll tell you the story. You know what, everybody? This is something that happened to me very, very recently. And I don't know whether or not a lot of you can relate to it. Maybe you can. Maybe it's happened to you as well. But there's a place close to where I live where I get my sandwiches from on a regular basis. And I enjoy the sandwiches, and I enjoy my interactions with the people that make the sandwiches. I enjoy my interaction with the manager, and I enjoyed my interaction with the owner of this particular establishment. And I go in there all the time, you know. They make good veggie sandwiches for me because they know I'm trying to lose weight. And they go, "Oh, you're looking good, as Anthony. You're losing weight." I go, "You guys are one of the reasons because I love your veggie sandwiches and veggie and diet water sandwiches that you sell here." And it's great. I walk in, and sometimes I would walk into the place. The guy who makes a sandwich would point at me and smile, right? I'd point back at him. And he knew what kind of sandwich I wanted. If there was a different sandwich, he'd point at me and I'd put my hand up as if to say, no. Different thing this time. And then he'd wait until I came to the counter, and then I would tell him what the change was, and then he'd make that. It got to the point now where there were a handful of things, and he, as a joke, numbered the things that I wanted to make, numbered the sandwiches. There were 6 or 7 different things I liked there, and he gave each one a number. So now when I would walk in, he'd point at me, I'd point at him, and then I'd put up a number with my hand, and he knew what sandwich I was wanting to get, and he would make the sandwich. It was like that. It was fun. It was great. They were nice to me. I was nice to them, and I ate there all the time, right? So very, very recently, I go back to this particular establishment. I'm getting ready to get a number 4. I'm getting ready to put up 4 fingers to get the number 4 sandwich. He knows what that is. I know what it is. And I can't wait. My mouth is watering for the number 4 sandwich. I begin to pull up to the location. I notice that the sign that normally flashes that says open, 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 open is not flashing open, but that's okay. That sign is broken before, not a big deal. And I notice that their chairs are on top of the tables, and I notice there's no activity in the location. Maybe they went on vacation. Well, I'm a little disappointed. I'm not going to get the number 4 sandwich, the number 4, but it's okay. If they're on vacation, they work hard. They deserve a vacation. Everyone deserves a little me time. I pull up into the parking lot and I say, let me find out, because if they there's a sign in the window, maybe they'll say we'll be back in 2 weeks, and then I'll know to come back to get whatever sandwich I am in the mood for on that particular occasion. It may not be a number 4. Maybe at that time I'll want a number 7. That is not a handwritten sign. No, it is not. It has the seal of the city, and it is from the health department. Oh no. This place is shut down permanently. Oh. Now, we've all been to places. If you've ever worked in a restaurant, every once in a while, the health department will come in and there'll be something wrong. Sometimes instead of shutting you down, they'll go, "Okay, you need to fix this." Or if they see that you've made a workaround, they'll go, "Well, I know that you've made a workaround, so I'm not going to shut you down, but you need to get this fixed permanently. You need a permanent fix, not a workaround. You got a week and I'll come back, and if it's fixed, no problem." Or sometimes it's something that can't be fixed and they'll shut you down for a few days. Maybe even a week, can give you a chance to fix it, but they'll allow you to put a sign up that said closed for maintenance. That's what they'll do, right? But very rarely do you have them put in the sign closed permanently. You're done here, son. No more eating. That's it, buddy. Closed. And that sign said closed. This location has been terminated. This location is done. If you see this sign, you probably haven't eaten here, because if you did eat here, well, you wouldn't be alive to see this sign, would you? No, you wouldn't. And then I started to think about it, and I realized there was a time not too long ago where I had food poisoning twice in a short span of time. And it never occurred to me that this place might have been the reason for the food poisoning. It seemed clean enough to me. Everybody seemed pleasant. There was a lot of people eating there, and I knew some of the people that ate there, and none of them complained of having any kind of gastrointestinal distress. So I couldn't have been that place, but then again, maybe it could have been this place. But how bad do you have to be for the city to just walk in and go, ho, get out? No, we'll clean up for you. Get out. In fact, I'm going to have some people from the city come down and rough you up in the back before we throw you out, because not only does this business deserve to be shut down, we need to smack you around a little bit because of the amount of crap you sold the people of this fine city. Okay, I might have embellished that part. I'm pretty sure they didn't rough them up, but you get the point. That you understand what I'm saying. But how bad does it have to be? Like I've already said a little bit earlier in this particular podcast, like I said, there are times when sometimes there's a mechanical issue. Maybe there's something wrong with the plumbing and the water's not hot enough, or something like that. And that's the kind of thing where the person who's running the business may not even be aware that there's a problem, right? But if the place is shut down permanently like this, it makes me wonder if the problem was a glaring problem and this nice group of people knew about the glaring problem and cared so little about this glaring problem that they just overlooked it because they wanted the money. That's the kind of behavior you normally expect from a big company. We'll be back right after this short break. And now, back to the show. Right? Yeah, I know these pigs are 9,000 pounds and eventually people are going to die of a disease. But by the time they even think about suing us, we'll have already bribed enough politicians to make it illegal not to get double cancer, because that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? But a small business, a small location with a nice clientele, a small business with a nice clientele that included me, a small business with a nice clientele that included me, and they treated me like a friend and were nice to me. Were they being nice to me when they gave me extra guacamole? Or were they trying to finish me off? They went, wait a second, he got food poisoning twice and he's back. Double up on the guacamole. Yeah, we're going to make sure he enjoys this final poison sandwich. Maybe that's what was going on. I'm wondering, did they know? Did one of the people there go up to the boss and go, boss, we really can't sell sandwiches right now. I just detected a glaring problem in our health, protocol, and I think we should just not sell sandwiches. Shut up, punk. Look at that line outside. Every one of those people is going to give us at least $10, maybe even $20 if they're coming to order for themselves and their spouse. So $25 to $30 to $40 if they're coming in to pick up some food for friends or their family. That's what's out there right now. Look at that line of people. When we open the door, they're going to run in here and order to their heart's content. They're going to want all of our poison sandwiches. Just make sure you don't slip up and call them that when they order them. Okay, if somebody says, hey, I would like a pastrami, don't go, you mean the poison pastrami? Don't do that, punk. They don't need to know. Oh, don't do that. Look outside. Look at that ever-growing line of people. And that incredibly attractive 5'8" black man who's 50 years old and has 2 popular podcasts. Yes, I'm giving myself a compliment in the middle of this rant. Shut up. Back to the story. Look at those people outside. Oh, there's got to be at least $3 or $4 grand worth of money right here. And this is just the first rush of the day. You expect me to shut down my business just because, doing the math, maybe 25% of those people are going to get food poisoning from our poison sandwiches? You're going to expect me to turn down the $3 to $6 grand? Are you crazy, punk? In addition to that, of the 25% of the people that are going to get food poisoning, it's going to be the mild form that many people get during the course of the year, and they just think they have an upset stomach, not realizing that it's just a mild form of food poisoning, right? The odds are none of them out there will die a horrible death. Okay, maybe one will, but hopefully it's not a regular customer. Okay, so you just shut up and scrape that guacamole off the floor, throw some green food dye in it, and put it in with the good guacamole. We got money to make, punk. Now shut your mouth. Let's get this money. Okay, I may have exaggerated a bit there, but I'm wondering, what in the world actually happened? Did I eat poison sandwiches? Did I eat poison sandwiches? Well, having had food poisoning twice before, I know exactly how long it takes. Within the first day, you start to feel like crap. Within that first 24 hours, you feel the worst you've ever felt in your life. You feel weak. You feel weird. You feel lightheaded. You feel drained because there's liquid coming from every hole in your body, right? Even your fingernails are throwing up, okay? And you feel like you're literally as close to calling an ambulance as you will ever come without actually calling an ambulance, right? If calling an ambulance is a 100, you're at a 99.99999999999999999999999999999. Let me take a breath. 999999999, right? That's what it feels like. And then the next day, you're at about 50%. And at the next day, you're at about 75%. And the next day, you're almost back to normal. You're about at 90%. And the next day, you feel like you again. Right? Did they do that? Is that what happened? Did I eat a poison sandwich? Well, as it turns out, it's been long enough since the place has been closed. The poison sandwich selling place has been closed long enough where I know I don't have food poisoning. Well, I don't have food poisoning, but if I did have it, it wouldn't have been from them. But it makes me feel weird. That's the first time I've ever gone to a place and ate there recently. I mean, days before it was just shut down permanently because of health code violations. Oh. Scary. Well, folks, I hope that never happens to you, right? You should do the same thing that people, there were guys that I knew that were dating girlfriends and they had a scare in the past where the lady came back and told them they were pregnant, right? And they were like, oh no. Right. And I remember when I was younger, when I would have ex-girlfriends, I would kind of hang around a little longer. Right. I'd hang around them. I'd watch them closely. We would still be friends, but I'd look at their stomachs and like, I took care of, I used protection, but I want to watch real carefully and see whether, okay, that's been 4 months, 5 months. The stomach is still flat. Great. I'm not going to get any call 2 years from now talking about it. You know what I'm saying. Right? We're going to have to start doing that where the places we eat, right? You eat someplace and you drive by just to see whether or not there's a sign on the window saying they got closed because they're dirty sleaze bags. Are we going to have to do that? I hope not. And I hope that everybody that ate at that place is okay. And as far as my ex-girlfriends who I'm all friends with, who were laughing hysterically about the joke I just told about looking at their stomachs, they're going, you did not hang around us and look at our stomachs. Of course I didn't do that. That's stupid. But I needed an extra joke for this podcast, ladies. I'm friends with all my ex-girlfriends. I don't have any, like all but one. I'm friends with almost all of my ex-girlfriends except for one. And the only reason I'm not friends with her is because she lives so far away that we don't talk that much. But we're still cool. I digress. In fact, I should probably change the name of this podcast to I Digress. No, I like having my name in it. Anyway, folks, that has been this episode of the S. Anthony Thomas Show. You guys have been really, really great to me. Thank you very, very much. And my friends, this episode is over. Catch you later. All right, everybody. As I just said, this episode is over. I want to thank you guys very much for coming by and checking everything out. I'm going to be putting out more episodes than I was before. A lot more of the shorter episodes. I'm going to continue to do the interviews and things of that nature, but it's going to be a lot more comedy as well. Much love to you all. Thank you very much for all the listens. You're the coolest people ever. And I'm going to keep saying that because you keep making it true. I will see you next time. Thank you. Oh, yeah.